Good morning, YouTube. This is man with George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bobby, talking to me live on YouTube. Well, folks, if you're right now going through it, what I'm going right now, Helena has hit around about the lower part of the southeast. We get a little about some hurricane warnings and storm warnings and flash floods here. So if you're in the area, be safe, be careful, especially those people that live around like Florida. I got a niece who lives in Atlanta, so I want y'all to be careful, be safe. Hurricane season is starting this time. It usually those dies off usually by the end of November, so just be careful. So anyway, folks, we have a couple of shows this weekend, and this one I'm going to talk about because most definitely I got a friend of mine. He's competing, at this show, and also a couple of ladies I've interviewed was also doing this show. So I want to give most definitely my big bro shout out and also see ladies here. So we have here is the Legion Sports Festival. I think it's one of the biggest shows outside of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic or the Pittsburgh Pro for qualification. This is actually qualification for next year's Olympia, 2025. And they also do Masters class. So this is a big show. It's 2 days. They're going to do the pros first, the open class first, and then the next day they're going to do the Masters. So this is the list. And we have here the list for women's physique. This show does not have women's bodybuilding. And you know what? That needs to change. I most definitely think they should add women's bodybuilding next year, especially how the division is growing. This would be a great show, especially where some competitors really get going right at the end of the season. You get a lot of people pick up because by then they're already in condition and ready. So sometimes it takes them a while for them to get ready, especially early in the season, and then they don't really start picking up till it gets closer to the end. So this would be a great show for women's bodybuilding for next year. Maybe we get some promoters that the promoter might eventually add it. Just got to get the right people who want to put an interest in this show. So anyway, this is a list. It's a pretty good list. There's quite a few competitors here. Some ladies here are recognized as Olympic level competitors, and also some who have competed, earlier this season. Now, also, this is also a master's class. So we have women's master over 40. And, and this is the 40 class is qualification for the Masters Olympia in 2025. It's going to be in Japan. So, you have to either win in over 40, which is the guidelines for how we can get in. And also, you can easily, put in the application to compete at the Masters Olympia. Either one could work, but I think most of the time, I think it's better if you can compete in one of these shows which has a Masters over 40 and you get your qualification. I know one lady, she said she did a Masters over 35 and she has to put an application now. So either she has to do another show, see if she get Olympic qualification for the Masters, or just, see if the application goes through. First, we have one Miss Tracy Allen, and I think she last competed in 2023 at the Texas Pro, and I think that was her pro debut. And I don't know much about Miss Allen, but she's been around for a bit. Next, we have CC Barba, and she's been competing for a good while. She competed last year at the Rising Phoenix, and also actually the Arizona Pro. That's separate. Rising Phoenix, Arizona Pro at two different shows. Remember, it's women's bodybuilding exclusively, and all the other divisions for the Arizona Pro. And she's been competing for a good while. And I know she did Arizona last year, also did Texas Pro last year. Next up we have is Jessie Campbell. And she's from Rio, Brazil. She's been a pro since 2021. She did a couple of shows then. And she last competed in 2022. Next up we have is Suchi Butler. And, she's been a pro she just turned pro I think this year, I believe she did turn. She recently turned pro. No. It's been about last year. I believe she turned pro. She made a pro debut this year at the Masters World Championship. I follow her. I know she's friends with Hella Trevino. I think Hella was one of her clients, I believe, at one point. And now she was in women's bodybuilding, but now she's making the switch to women's physique. So it might work for her, especially with her size and her build. Next up, we have one Kim Drizin. If I got the name wrong, I apologize. We haven't seen her since I think the last time I competed was Omaha, and that's been at least a year or so. We have one lady, I couldn't find a picture of her, so I got this one, Laura Green. So I don't know much about her, so this might be her pro debut. Next up we have is Lexi Lowry. Now, Miss Lowry has been doing pretty good. She's competed at the Texas Pro, and also she last competed at the Arizona Pro. Great potential. I think she has great physique, great look to her. She's been pro for a good bit. I know she made a pro debut at New York, was it, in 2023, and then she did Texas Pro. She's been around for a bit. She has a lot of potential. I hope this show can maybe get her qualification. Or there's also another show coming up that might possibly can get a qualification. Except we have here a lady I had the pleasure of interviewing, Miss Aubrey Meyer. As you know, Miss Meyer, she's from Canada. And she's also good friends. The lady I interview also, Maria Lieberman. Aubrey, I remember in an interview a while back, she said she's going to do this show. And I've seen Aubrey is really looking good. And you got to think about it. Aubrey is tall. She's over 6 feet tall. And you know what? It's hard for a woman with that tall, to put on the muscle aesthetics to compete, especially in bodybuilding. But she's working with Maria, they're very close friends, and I've seen her. She really looks amazing. I think she can do pretty good, or she can possibly, win in the. I think she's also doing masters. Also, she's doing masters over 40. That could be also get her Olympic qualification if she does the masters Olympia. Next up, we have a lady I've been in contact with. I'm hoping, as you saw, I'm having an interview, but some situation happened. We were supposed to have it today, but we might have to move it back because of she lives in Florida and there's travel and all things going on. So we're probably going to try to reschedule our interview sometime soon. We have here Sergeant Yvonne Pennington. Yvonne was close to get Olympic qualification for this year at the Arizona Pro, and Jody Bonchuk won. It was down between her and Jody, and I thought it was most certain it was going to be her. But with Jody, she back in 2022 won her first Olympic qualification at this show, and she competed. I think she competed last year, I believe. But I think she has a great physique. She did Chicago Pro where she got 7th. Impressive physique, great. Also, I want to say this every time I know somebody who is a service person in our country's military, I will say this: I appreciate the sacrifice she's made for our country as a citizen. So I hope she does well this show, and I hope she makes it. Next up, we have a lady also I have a pleasure interview out here, Miss Lada Pavlovna. If I got her name wrong, I'm sorry, Lada. And she's originally from Czech Republic. She turned pro back at the Olympia in 2022. The same year, her and Marion Yee, they both turned pro in women's bodybuilding. That was the year that I think they were debuting women's bodybuilding. And she took some time off. She was going through some setbacks. I know a while back, her mother passed away, and she's been on my channel a couple of times. We did some discussions on the stuff. Lada made her pro debut at the Titan Grand Prix, and she did all right, fairly, especially for a pro debut. But now she decided to make the switch over to women's physique, which I think will work for her. She's not as big as some of the women already seen in the division. I think it works for her size or her conditioning. I mean, she really has improved since the Titan. It's only been at least about 6 days since the Titan Pro, and from the pictures I see for her, she really looked really good. I mean, this might be the better show for her. Also, as I said again, she's doing masters. Next up, we have is one Miss Monique Podgorski, and my man Kale interviewed her a while back. She's from Canada. I'm telling you the truth, Canada really puts out some great talent here. She turned pro some time ago at the Vancouver Pro. Impressive physique, and look like she's a little bit on the taller side. Her condition looks really good. We just got to see how she's going to do in this show, especially this is going to be her first pro show. Next up, we have here one Miss Michelle Polonick. She's been competing for quite some time. She last competed at Arizona Pro. I think also she's doing masters. Next up, we have one Miss Mary Powers. We hadn't seen her since last year when she competed at the Arizona Pro. I was talking to her about doing an interview, but it never worked out. But I hope she does well. Next up, we have one Miss Amy Reeves, who just turned pro just this year at the Universe. I follow on social media. Impressive lady, she's a mother, and wait to see how she does in her first pro show. Also, we have is Diane Schneid. She is originally from Germany, but she lives in the States. She follows me on my IG. Impressive lady. She competed last time. She competed at the Tupelo Pro. I think she did another show this year. I think I saw on the list, but she's done the show before. I think and she lives in New York, so it's a long way to come from New York to Reno, Nevada, to try to get your Olympic qualification for 2025. And last we have right here next we have it was Christina Segres, and she lives right here in Reno, so it's in her own backyard. She last competed at the Max Fit Classic, which is a master show. and also she's competing in the women's over 40 class. So this might possibly maybe get her a shot at maybe Olympia qualifications for 2025. And last and surely not least is a lady who I had a pleasure of having on my channel. We used to be in contact for a good bit. We have the lovely Mrs. Lee and George. As you know, Miss George, I like the last name. She turned pro about almost a couple of years ago. She made her pro debut last year at this show. She lives out around, she lives in Spokane one person, but she moved. I remember a while back, I sent a package to her, and she got it, and went to her boyfriend's house, and she's been on my channel a couple of times. I remember when we first met, when we did an interview with her, and she was working with another lady who was a coach, Cheryl Faust. And then she came back on and updated what she's doing and making her pro debut that last year. But she's a nice lady, and she did get a pro card as a bodybuilder, but now she switched over to physique, and I think it works for her because if you don't have the size for women's bodybuilding, physique is a better division for you, or maybe figure. But like I said, she's a nice lady, and we were in contact for a good bit. Maybe I'll reach out to her, see if she ever want to come back on again and talk about what she's doing since her pro debut. Now, on the list originally was two competitors who I would say would probably have a shot at the Olympia. But then the list was redone, and I saw this also if you remember on my channel. This lady right here, Carolina dos Santos Alvarez dos Santos. Carolina dos Santos, you want to call her. She has issues. She doesn't have a visa. So this is the question: is why put yourself on a list of a show where you don't have a visa, knowing this is going to be a show in the States, knowing this is for 2025 Olympic qualification. And, she's been qualified for Olympia 4 times. And because of, I don't know, what's the deal? You can't get a visa. I mean, there's dozens of Brazilian competitors that can come here. Like, people like Alcione Barreto, Lavinia. She's living right now in Vegas. And also, we can't forget, Zama Benta, and she says something in her record where it's making it hard for her to get into the States. A visa, especially getting in the United States, you have to make sure everything is all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. And if there's any kind of criminal record, you're not going to get a visa. So that's the problem. That's the thing is, she's competing shows, getting Olympic qualifications, and I think she should just step away from bodybuilding. If you can't do the Olympia, what's the point of just competing? You're taking spots away from somebody like Barbara Majan, who probably deserved to get that show. She had to do the show in the UK. She got an Olympic qualification in Portugal, and that was it. That would get Nadia Phoenix her shot. But, she loves competing, but again and again, if you can't make the Olympia, what's the point? Also, I saw that she's still on the list, but I heard that Frida Bubman says she dropped off, and that is Alyssa Kissling. Now, she last competed at the Olympia back in, I think, 2021. I know she was in Florida. She moved to Texas. She did the Texas Pro this summer, where she won Best Poser. She was in the top 3 at this show because Zama won the show. I think she was second, and Janetta Johansson was third. President Physique, and I thought this would be a great show. They'll probably get a little qualification, but from what I heard, she dropped out. I know she's still on the list, but then I hear she dropped out. But if she's on just to make the show, there's a good chance she might get a Olympic qualification for next year. So we'll just wait and see. Like I said, I'm going to watch the show because the fact is I'm supporting my big brother, and I want to show love. I usually don't watch banana hammocks like that, but I will. So, and like I said again, I want to get shout out to my big bro, Mr. Big Keith Williams. As you know, Keith's been out from competition for a while. I know he won't like this picture. It's the best one because I've seen the brother. He's looking really good. This is from about a few years ago. Brother had went through some setbacks. He was in a car accident. Was it about 2 or 3 years ago? One point he was retiring. He was focused on being a bowler. And then reached out and said, "Hey George, I want to be a part on your live stream." I said, "Cool, he's a great guy, intelligent man. Shout out to him and his family. He keeps me up to date on stuff. We talk back and forth on the phone. One of these days, I got to meet him. One day, I think he's planning on doing another show next year. If I say I'm planning on, I hope I can get the opportunity to travel to a show. If it's his show, I would love to see him. What I'm gonna do is like the movie Golden Child, where Eddie Murphy says, "My dear brother Noopsy." That's how I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna wish him best of luck. I will watch some of it. Guys, I rarely watch the banana hammocks, but like I said, it's my big bro, and I will watch his routine, and I hope it plays. He's also gonna do Masters. That's Sunday. because I think they'll do open first for the open class and the masters the next day. So I will watch the open. It's getting a little tight money wise. It's close to the end of the month for me, so I might have to miss the masters part. I would usually watch it, but like I said, it's money. It's the end of the month and it's getting tight and things are going on. You need to take care of some stuff. But and again, I want to start my big bro. I hope he does well. Shout out to him and his lovely wife. She looked great at the Titan show. I think they're planning maybe do a show together, maybe sometime soon. I would love to be there and see them compete together. It said the show is going to be in Reno, Nevada. Now, that is a 3 hours difference. I think the timing, I think the show is going to start either 9 or 10 o'clock their time, which is going to be right about to 12 o'clock my time. So that'd be enough time for me to catch a show. Or I might still try to watch the other show that's coming up. Like I said, you gotta stretch $1. That's the thing is. But I would say this show, I would say it's a big show. I heard that their sports festival is bigger than even the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. And this is why I think women's bodybuilding should be added to the lineup. I know some promoters want to add women's bodybuilding because of the yada, 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 yada. But this would be a great opportunity for them. Next year, I hope they do it. Because I think women's bodybuilding need more shows. And just saw what they did with the Titan. Had so many bodies for that show. Because it was last year's, it was like a qualification for this year's Olympia. And everybody wants to squeeze in. And think about it. This would be a great qualification for somebody. So, you know what? I don't want to wait till next year. I can jump on this show and do it for next year, get out of the way and sit and chill. So, so I hope they do add it next year. Just need to talk to the right people or maybe get some sponsors to put money behind women's bodybuilding. We need strength. Hey, Nevada's not that far from Arizona. Reach out to him, Jake. Yo, Jake. You got the money, Jake. You can do that, and maybe we get some people that maybe can really talk them into it. But like I said, I'm going to check out the show. I believe I'm going to put the link in for the live stream. You want to watch it. And I know you guys, you don't usually watch the Banana Hammers, but check out my big bro. He's very last on the list, so I had to watch the other guys so I get to see him. But, shout out to everybody who supported me and my big bro on our podcast live stream. We're going to do one Sunday, and we're going to do Almost Talk Monday on Monday. So come check us out. So shout out to my man Big Keith. Shout out to all these competitors and wish the best of luck. And with this man, always George Page, a.k.a. the Emperor of Female Talk. Like, subscribe. I'm out.